Hey Pisces, welcome to Divine Duality Tarot. My name is TJ. If this is your first time here, I really appreciate you checking the channel out. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. So what I do here is just quick, simple relationship spread, kind of get the love energy, the romantic energy going into the week of January 23rd. The goal is to get you as much information as I possibly can. That way you can go into the week with some forewarning rather than no warning at all. Now, what I do is I lay out 3 for you. And we're already starting out with interesting messaging. Oh man. And then I will lay out 3 for your romantic interest, whoever that person may be. Now, with that said, most of the time it's pretty straightforward, the messaging laid out, but every once in a while something's a little vague, it may not quite fit, but anything that's out here came out for a reason. So I have a second deck here for clarification should the need arise. So Pisces, well, let's get it started. I'm gonna start with you. Starting it out as 2 of Swords, which is the refusal of issues. Now, this is not you being blind to the issue. You know what they are. You know what the problem is. This is a refusal to address it. This is you are forcing yourself to be blind. You are lying to yourself by saying it's not a problem. Your trash can's on fire and you're standing there. That's not a fire. A trash can is fine. I don't even want to deal with it. Nothing's even going on. It's an issue that you're refusing to see, that you already know. Your intuition, your instinct is telling you there are lights flashing, but you don't want to recognize it. Then you have the 7 of Swords, which is deception. It is being or deceiving. It is being deceived yourself, or you deceiving somebody else, or you deceiving yourself. Something or someone is being deceived. And then you have Judgment, which is accepting failure, which is letting go of the past, which is acceptance, reconciliation. Pisces, okay. You're living in the past. You're not letting it go. You're lying to yourself about the situation instead of just attacking it head on. You are pulling yourself away from resolution. You are pulling yourself away from the ability to reconcile the situation with yourself or with your romantic interest, whoever this is. You are holding yourself back. You truly are. You're standing in your own way by living in this crappy mindset. Let's see if this doing it to yourself, or let's see if your romantic interest is causing this problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on them, and then we'll get back to you, because I hate giving bad news, but I would rather you have the bad news and, like I said, go into it with some forewarning rather than going into it initially, thinking, oh, this is going to be great, and then this powerful emotion hits you, this energy hits you, and it's just all full of failure, and you don't think that there's any success to be found. So, starting it out with your partner's energy is the 5 of Pentacles, which is instability in the physical world. This could be anything from believing that there is the instability with money, believing that there's instability with their household possessions, be it instability with their own physical self, like they're not perceiving themselves where they need to be. They're down about themselves, or they're down about you. They have instability in the physical world. And then they have the Three of Pentacles, which in general is success in the physical world. But this instability in this case is holding them back from success. They want to succeed, but things are so turbulent that they cannot find the success. They cannot succeed in this physical world. They want to, but it just ain't happening. Because they have this Eight of Cups, which is walking away, moving on in an emotional sense. So something has happened that has caused this dynamic, this relationship into a tailspin, heading straight for the ground. And this is a situation that, unless a drastic change is made, this thing is going to crash and burn hard into the ground. This is a relationship that is on a knife's edge because your mentality is affecting them and their mentality is affecting you. In a big cycle, it is a big circle. You're a hamster on top of the wheel, they're a hamster on the bottom of the wheel. Just ignore the physics of that. Gravity doesn't exist here. I mean, it should, but you both are just circling. You're feeding into them, they're feeding into you, you're feeding into them, they're feeding into you, and the situation is getting worse and worse. There is a breakdown. There's a breakdown of the truth. You want to accept failure of the situation. You want to acknowledge that the thing is breaking down. You are already coming to fruition that there is an issue. You're getting judgment. But there's no reconciliation. At least not at the moment. You want that. You want it to be over. You're tired of the crap. But they keep doing things, and they're in pursuit of success in the physical world, is causing you to continue to be deceived. It's their desire for success is deceiving. It is them deceiving you of what the actual problem is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And they're developing this emotional turmoil of, and their way to combat it, this is the worst part. Their way to engage with you, Pisces, is to not engage with you. It's one of those situations where you bring up something and they walk away. They don't want to hear what you have to say. They're trying to move on from the problem and not address it. And you know there's a problem, but you don't want to address it. This is like, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a relationship in dire straits right here. This is a relationship in the most dire of straits. So something I don't usually do, Pisces, is a third, because I try to keep them as simple as possible. But I can't let it just... Pisces, what should Pisces do? What should Pisces do? No. What is a sign that Pisces should look for to know if it's done. If this is something about this week that they need to just pull out. They need to cash their chips out and leave the table. Let's see, is the game for them over? Is this situation, is this week going to be an absolute failure? So the question is, what is something to look for to know if it's done? The Five of Cups is grief, disappointment. If you or them start to become disappointed in the other, meaning you or them have taken what you would consider the high ground of looking down on them or them looking down on you, if you pity them or they pity you, that's a bad sign, because that leads to the breakdown. That leads to the King of Swords breaking down, which is rational communication. If there's no longer the ability to talk to one another in a rational way, then that leads to the Four of Swords, which is self-care. These are the things to look for. This is the order of things to look for. If you start pitying them or they start pitying you, communication breaks down, all right? There's no longer a mutual point. There is no communication between the two of you. When the channels are closed, then you will start only caring about yourself and they will only start caring about themselves. And yes, you both will build yourselves up, but you're building yourselves away from each other. You're not building the relationship together and drawing off of each other's strength. Instead, you are finding your own strength without that person. If you see those signs, then it's time to get up from the table and start moving away. It's time to understand that this situation is beyond your control, and this person no longer cares about this situation. Meaning, when whatever this is dies off, if you two get through this problem by means of just ignoring it and moving on, later on, this thing is going to come back, and it is going to come back with force that you could not imagine. This is a wound that, without taking care of it now, will grow infected, and you can put as many band-aids on it as you want, but eventually that wound is going to tear open, and it is going to be it will be vicious. It will be of a ferocity that you could not imagine. The fights that could ensue, the arguments will be intense. You're talking something this big that has caused this kind of issue. If it grows, we're talking sleepless nights. We're talking sleeping on the couch. We're talking potentially one or both of you seeking attention elsewhere. We're talking the end of a relationship as you know it. I wouldn't even know how to go about this, Pisces. I am so sorry. This is not. I want to thank you for watching the video, okay? And Not every message, Pisces, resonates with every single individual. Not every single Pisces is going to feel the same thing. And this is like the one time I want people to feel the message. I want people to understand where I'm coming from, you know, and it help you. This is probably one of the very few times, Pisces, that I'm going to tell you, I truly hope that you're one of the people that this doesn't resonate with. But if you don't think it resonates with you, be sure, be 100% sure that you are not refusing the issue and that you are not deceiving yourself. Take what I have to say here seriously, Pisces. Think about the situation, understand the situation, and if it doesn't resonate with you, thank goodness. But if it does, do something about it. You got to do something about it. You got to do something about this. You got to address it. You got to take care of this. You got to take the blindfold off. You got to drop the crap, understand what the situation is, and reconcile. You have to, because if not, this will grow. This will grow, and everything that you've built for will come crumbling down. It truly will. This is resentment forming. Man. Pisces, thank you for coming by, seeing what I have to say, and with that, I will see you next week.